Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 322 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm always so glad to be just a little part of your day each week, and my hope is that even just one thing stays with you and helps you make a change for the better, because that's what we're looking for, right? Just a little bit of self-improvement every single day. It's my passion, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so grateful that you're listening. So why do some people seem to age so beautifully and others just seem to fall apart so quickly? Well, if you listen to the so-called experts, they would say it's all about your genes. But more recent studies are showing that we have so much more power over our genes than we've ever even been told. I think we're just really finding that out, which is a beautiful thing. I was sitting during one of my meditations the other morning, and I was thinking about how far I've come since the morning that I was walking Kinsey, and my joints hurt, and I was moving slow, and I felt tired and brain fog. I said to myself, is this just me getting old? Is this how getting old is supposed to feel? And then I snapped out of my pity party and I realized I'm not old. I was around 45 at the time. And I really thought, if you're feeling this old at 45, you're not going to make it to 90. And by the time I'm 70 at this rate, I'll be in horrible shape. And my husband, Eric, and I have way too many plans for that to be the case. I mean, we want to spend a month in Italy if we decide to. And Italy isn't for the weak. Let me tell you, in Positano on the Amalfi Coast, there are no ramps. If you can't walk up and down steps, like a lot of them, don't go to Positano for any period of time. You can see it from a bus driving through, but that isn't how I want to experience it. I want to be able to walk up those steps, to travel, to walk and hike. And I want to feel amazing while I do it. But you see, I wasn't on that path when I was 45. Let's just face the facts here. I'm an American. And this country is the best country in the world. It's amazing. And the people here, they really are just the best. I truly believe that. I've traveled everywhere. They're the nicest. Americans are the nicest people. But right now, we are in this really weird zone where the health of the people in this country, it's been hijacked. The people we trusted the most are literally killing us. Doctors prescribe medication like candy, telling us our lack of health isn't our fault. It's in our genes. There's nothing we can do. We're a victim to our hereditary genes. And the politicians and the media, they're all run by companies like Pfizer. It's literally, we have the fox watching the hen house. It's crazy. And the result is what you see right now, that 66% of Americans are on one prescribed medication or another, as opposed to in the UK where it's 26% or in Australia where it's 35%. I had trouble finding other numbers for Europe, but I did find that European doctors said that the US overprescribes drugs like statins all the time when they should be prescribing a Mediterranean-style diet because it works. Now, if a Mediterranean-style diet works, why wouldn't they tell us that? Do they know and they just aren't telling us, or do they not know, which I think is worse? Now, that's a question I don't know the answer to. I guess it would be best asked to your doctor on an individual basis. And every doctor has to answer for themselves, just like we do. Do they know there's a better way? But that's just what they've been taught to do, prescribe medication. A member of my family who is in superb shape and eats extremely well went to a cardiologist really just for a wellness check. And he was told he was considered to have heart disease. Nutrition wouldn't help at all. And he needed to stop working out so hard. And he told him he'd be on statins for the rest of his life. Welcome to just getting older. That's exactly what he said. That's how it is. Now, this guy could lift 25 pounds in his sleep. And he's healthy, and he didn't have any symptoms. So something's really wrong here when a doctor will just say, you're on statins for the rest of your life. Deal with it. Well, I looked up the doctor and the Physician Payment Sunshine Act. Do you know about that? It's where you can look and see how much your doctor is getting paid directly from pharmaceutical companies. I will put that in the show notes so you can all do this. But that same doctor got paid over $23,000 in 1 year directly from the pharmaceutical companies. I didn't know you could do that. You can actually see how cozy your doctor is with the pharmaceutical companies by looking it up online. And I will put that in the show notes. My point is, though, not to harp on all of that because it's our responsibility. Our health is our responsibility. When you delegate it to someone else, their agenda is always going to play a role. And not that they're evil, but they may not be giving you the attention you deserve. Your agenda may be to be as healthy as you can be, and their agenda may be to pay their kids' tuition. Not all of them, of course. But the world is full of medical doctors that are turning to holistic practices because they're tired of the revolving door plan where you simply prescribe medication instead of looking at the root of the problem. You don't have to be a victim to your heritage. You don't have to just accept that being on medication and feeling awful is your destiny. You just don't. Let's look at the alternative. More recent studies show that 90% of our current health is controlled by the environment in which we put our genes. That's new news. The food we eat, our exercise regimen, our resilience in the face of stress, and how much we are exposed to environmental toxins. This is astounding news. This means we have more control than we think we do. Now, and that comes as a relief for some people, but for others, it might irritate them because it is much easier to blame someone else or blame our genes rather than accepting that it's our lifestyle that's causing our problems. For me, it was mind-blowing. So I'm not a victim to my heritage. Just because my mom is pre-diabetic doesn't mean I have to be. That's wonderful news. That's one of the reasons why I wear a CGM periodically, my continuous glucose monitor. I want to control and understand my blood sugar before it controls me. My health is my responsibility. During a meditation this last week, I was visualizing my cells being healthy and repairing any areas that needed to be repaired so that I am in optimal health. And then I realized, hey, I'm sitting here asking my body to be out in front of any healing that needs to take place and to be well, but what am I doing to support it? And right then I told myself, I will do everything I can environmentally to help us to be optimal. I'm not just asking it to be optimal regardless of what I do to it. I learned from a podcast this last week that when you give your body 4 to 6 hours to digest a meal without snacking in between, it will do that. And then once it digests and it's finished digesting, it gets to the job of healing and repairing things in your body that need to be repaired. Did you know that? I didn't. So if you're constantly snacking, when is your body repairing itself? That's part of the reason why fasting is so beneficial. Now, I'm not a good faster. I do not like it. I do my best, though, to not eat after 7 at night, but I'm hungry when I wake up. Now, Eric, on the other hand, has been fasting before his workouts and then eating lunch as his first meal. I don't want to do that. So I actually have been really, really focused on being cautious about not snacking. Some days I don't snack at all, and some days around 3 or 4, I'm like, man, I got to have a little snack, and that's a banana and almond butter or something like that because I'm actually really hungry. But I've been trying not to snack for those reasons. The body does also repair itself while you sleep, but mainly during deep sleep, which is inhibited if you have bad sleep habits, like looking at your phone in bed or eating too close to bedtime. I didn't know that either. You see, the more educated you are, the more you're able to give yourself a chance to be optimal. I'm giving my body the best chance it has to be optimal. We've never had more information available to us than we do right now. I want to be optimal. I don't want to be average, but I can't do that by leaving it to chance. I can't do that by eating what the average American eats or taking the medication the average doctor pushes. I want to be in control of my health. I don't want to leave it to someone who's getting paid to medicate. Our bodies are beautifully made. They'll put up with a lot and keep going. But as we're seeing right now in our society, it's not without major pitfalls. Your body is going to break down if it's not being taken care of in the way it was designed. And it's designed to move. It's designed to eat whole foods and protein. It's designed to spend time in nature and be socially active. These are all crucial to our physical and mental health, and it's not something we can delegate to someone else. So my question to you today is, what are you doing to take care of yourself? What are you doing to give yourself the chance to be optimal? My challenge to you today is just to give that question an honest answer. And look, I know there's a lot to take in, and I'm trying my best to break it down so that we all benefit long term. I'm doing the research so you don't have to if you don't have time, or maybe you don't want to. So keep hanging out here, and together we will be wildly successful. Share this with 3 people who love to keep learning. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.